Well, hello there. Welcome to episode number 709 of Smart Podcast Trashy Books. I'm Sarah Wendell. Amanda is with me, and we are going back to July 2000 to take a look at the reviews in Romantic Times Magazine. Now, if you're thinking, wait a minute, because you're better at remembering numbers than I am, didn't you already recap July 2000 in episodes 661 and 663? Well, yes, but that was actually the June issue. There was a sticker over the barcode with July 2000 written on it, and I believed the sticker. My mistake. So this is really July 2000, and we really, really mean it. We have got anthologies, we've got Carpathians, and we've got several books where we are pretty sure the happy ending is to throw the entire man away. We also debate who is possessed by demons because that's a valid question for several of the books we're going to talk about. I do want to warn you that when we discuss the mystery and thriller, there is a truly gross plot. It is a doozy. So if you are the type of person to get a little nauseous easily, you might want to skip ahead. That section's about 4 minutes. Last week, I ran an episode from the vault. Thank you for being so chill and welcoming to my taking a break. I really appreciate it as someone who thinks, no, you must do all the things all of the time. My interview was with Doctors Joanna Gregson and Jen Lois. And if you didn't listen, totally cool. Their sociological research into the romance writing community blew my mind then, and I still think about it all the time. So I reached out to them to see what they're working on now, and I have updates from them. Dr. Gregson is now the provost and senior vice president for academic affairs, and while her work is more administrative, she says, I can say that we told each other we never wanted to do research on any other topic after discovering romance. I plan to return to it whenever I resume a faculty role. Very cool. Dr. Lois had even more information, which I think is really interesting. Dr. Lois said, as usually happens when we have an interest, write a draft, and then it's huge. We divide it into 2 or 3 papers. So after the 2018 Career Aspirations article, we wrote a paper on how precarious the writing career is, a larger issue in creative industries in general, as you know. We got that paper pretty well in shape when COVID hit, so like everyone else in the world, we diverted our attention to other stuff and ended up sitting on that paper for quite some time. Funnily enough, I just submitted it to a journal on Friday. Very coincidental that I resurfaced that episode. Dr. Lois continues, so we might have another article come out of this research dealing with how authors experience and try to mitigate the precarity of the publishing industry. As Joe says, I'm keeping the flame alive, but it is a small flame. We've got another paper about 3/4 finished on the author's artistic identities and how they manage that, which I have been calling the, quote, 3 trials of artistic self-doubt, end quote, that authors must navigate. So maybe that one is next. Please, I hope that one's next. And then last year, I attended the annual meetings for the Popular Culture Association to talk about some follow-up interview data from 2017 when we checked in with 15 of our original interviewees. Not surprisingly, they all had things to say about self-publishing, so I presented a little talk on that. But that was 2017 data, and so much has changed with self-publishing and RWA that when we do return to this research someday, we're going to have a lot of documenting to do to catch our data up to this new reality. Imagine trying to do sociological research on the romance community starting in 2015 and then coming back to it now. Wow, things are very different. So I want to thank Drs. Lois and Gregson for letting me know what they're up to. And boy, oh boy, do I really want to read that paper about the 3 trials of artistic self-doubt. Holy cow. One of my favorite things about doing this podcast is in a lot of ways, you're getting a little tour of my brain. What do I think is interesting? What do I want to talk about? What do I want to learn more about? And then I get to share it. And then you want to hear what I'm thinking and what I'm researching and who I'm talking to. And that is such a massive compliment. So thank you for being as into these strange pathways as I am. And also thank you for being so supportive of my taking an episode out of the vault. And if I do that again, I hope I pick an episode from the vault that is as engaging as this one is. And if you have suggestions, please let me know. I have a compliment this week. This compliment is for Daphne. Daphne, a recent survey from a team of biologists has found that cats, dogs, all chipmunks, birds, and 9 separate scurries of local squirrels voted you as the most trustworthy human because you are thoughtful, gentle, and your wardrobe is always visually stunning. The squirrels, in particular, love your wardrobe. If you would like a compliment of your very own, or you'd like to support this here podcast, have a look at patreon.com/smartbitches. Our Patreon community is the reason that there are not any dynamic ads before or after the show for new episodes. And our Patreon community keeps me going, helps make sure that every episode has a transcript from Garlic Knitter. Hi, Garlic Knitter. And if you are curious about subscriber benefits, there is a collection on Patreon of our bonus content. And there is the most wonderful community of people on Discord who would love to welcome you. Patreon.com/smartbitches. And if Patreon support is not in your cards, may I please humbly ask that you leave a review for the show where you listen, or just tell some people. It really does make a difference. This is a longer than usual intro from me, but it's about time to get started with the podcast. I do want to warn you, we laugh a lot in this episode. This was a funny issue, and it is a delight. All right, shall we do this? Let's go. On with the podcast. Amanda, I laughed so much reading this magazine. I laughed so much reading this magazine, and I cannot wait to share it with people because this one is such a doozy.
This was a weird one.
I know.
This one's so a weirdo.
Good. I love it when every time I turned around and saw something new, all I could hear was you in my head going, I miss when romance was zany.
It was so bizarro.
I love it. This was so much fun. And also I have to issue a correction. If you're really paying attention to the names and titles of the episodes, you're probably thinking, wait, you already did July 2000. No, there was a sticker on June 2000 that said July 2000. So I took that as gospel. My mistake. That was actually June 2000. This is July 2000,
okay.
Which with June that we thought was July, we did like 6 months ago. So we're back.
We're back.
The 2000s, literally the 1000. Do you remember where you were in 2000?
Oh boy.
In the year 2000.
Was I in 6th grade? I might have been in 6th grade. I don't know. Yes.
That's unfortunate because middle school sucks.
I was in 6th grade because I remember we were all dealing with like Y2K stuff and I had not moved to North Florida yet. So.
Oh my.
Yeah. I remember.
So you were still in like the middle of the state.
The south of the state. Fort Lauderdale.
Oh my.
Yeah.
That is quite low.
It is quite low.
I had gotten married in May 2000 and was about to start grad school and was probably, I don't know what I was doing in the summer, but I had just gotten married and we were newlyweds and we were setting up an apartment and Adam was going to graduate. No, he had just graduated law school. It was a long time ago,
wow.
But it was, as I can do good math, that was 26 years ago this summer. So you picked this one based on the cover. Why did you pick this issue on the cover?
I thought the cover was just really nice. This is a nice cover. Sometimes we get cover images, just words, or it is a blown up image of a book cover, but the book cover isn't that compelling.
No.
This one is like a beautiful watercolor painting. Like I would believe this was just like a normal painting and not a book cover. It looks beautiful.
It's definitely some kind of painting and it's so visually pretty. Like this is gorgeous cover art. And I don't even know if this was on a cover or if this was the step back of the Marriage Prize, but the cover book is Virginia Henley, The Marriage Prize.
Yeah.
It's so pretty. All right. Shall we get started on reviews?
Yes.
You go first. We are starting with, gosh, what could we be starting with? I don't know. What genre could it be?
Historical romance.
Oh, it's historical. How exciting for everybody. What did you pick in Historical Ranch? What did you pick in Historical Romance?
So I picked on page PDF 40, Nobility Ranch by Cynthia Sterling. It's a zebra ballad release. Setting is Texas 1800s. This is a sort of like throw the whole man away review. And it got 2 stars.
Oh, they agreed with you there.
Yeah. Like many young Englishmen, Charles Worthington, Lord Silsby, left England for frontier Texas to find his fortune as a rancher. Charles enjoys his new independence and is determined to build his empire. No one will force him to return to his domineering father in England. Lady Cicely Thorndyke has been engaged to Charles for 4 years.
Dude, bro, come on now.
Tired of waiting for him to come home, she's run off to find her errant fiancé. Like Charles, she loves the harsh beauty and freedom of the American West and is determined to stay in Texas. But she first must convince Charles he's ready to surrender his hard-won freedom for her love. With help from a madam and her girls and the townspeople, Cecily learns how to get her man. Charming and sweet, funny and picturesque, Nobility Ranch is a portrait of a time and place peopled with likable characters, a basic plot, and a simplistic conflict between the lovers. Miss Sterling brings us a light, quick read, a nice beginning to a new series. Sensual. Look, if my fiancé, if I were engaged for 4 years and he's like, I'm going to fuck off to another continent to become a rancher and you're not invited, fuck you, dude.
Sir. I also love how this is titled People from the English Nobility in the American West. Those two worlds, like, can you imagine someone who's raised in the English aristocracy going out to Texas in the 1800s? Like, you have never handled that much of your business before. Let's be real, sir. Like, nobody's ironing your shoelaces out there. Come on now. Oh my gosh. And of course, there's like no mention of anyone who might have been in Texas in the 1800s. No, it's the frontier. It's the West. It's all theirs. It's fine.
Oh, I'm also curious if she just like doesn't know he's gone and learns that he has just disappeared. Like, how does she realize that he has left the continent?
He has truly fucked off.
And it's not like you can get on a plane and get there. Like, it takes time to get to Texas from England.
And it's risky. It's a very risky crossing.
I would have just written him off and be like, well, he's gone or dead. So, moving on with my life.
Oh. That is truly a throw the whole man away book.
Yeah.
So I picked on page 33, A Memory of Love by my girl, Bertrice Small. This is going to go places. Get ready. A Memory of Love by Bertrice Small, Ballantine, 4.5 stars, top pick. Setting is Wales, England, and the Middle East. Previous titles in the series include Bedazzled and Deceived. If you're thinking which Beatrice is this and you know the old covers, this is the one where the couple is standing side by side. I think it's John DeSalvo and his excellent mullet, and the woman has a gown on where she's got this sort of pink cape with a cut for her sleeve, so it looks like she's just wearing a giant pink cape on top of a pink gown. If you remember this cover, and if you don't, it'll be in the episode show notes. Illegitimate daughter of the Prince of Wales, Ronwyn is more like a warrior than a princess. When she's unwillingly wed to an English nobleman to peacefully unite their countries, Ronwyn is more hellion than obedient bride. Her husband, Edward, is surprised at her spirit and then intrigued by her courage and beauty. A good man, he slowly gains Ronwyn's confidence and love. And when he joins the Crusades, dun, 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 she accompanies him to the Holy Land. When Edward is unable to fight, Ronwyn serves as head of the troops. Brave and skilled as she is, Ronwyn is taken captive and given to Rashid al-Ahmet, who knows more about women and sensuality than Ronwyn ever dreamed. Oh boy. Get ready. This goes wild. Always faithful to Edward in her heart, Ronwyn nonetheless gives her body to Rashad and discovers a joy and pleasure she never knew with her young husband. But her feelings for Rashad are not the same as those she has for Edward. Her newfound desire and strength are tested when she returns to England to discover that Edward believed her dead and there's another woman in his wife as well. Woo, damn. The always inventive, always sensual, always marvelous storyteller Bertrice Small again weaves a tapestry of passions old and new, the wild turbulence of English history and the exotic world of the Eastern harem. Her fans will adore being caught in the threads of this lusty tale. Sensual. Lusty
tale.
She is so skilled that she is leading his troops while he can't fight for like whatever reason. And she gets given to this guy and she's like, this guy has the hot sexing. I'm going to have some hot sex, even though Edward's always in my heart. I'm kind of tempted to read this to see how Bertrice pulls that off because wow, you can't do that today. You can't have the heroine fucking some other guy and also you can't have them getting the sex knowledge in the Middle East. That's not cool.
But also the hero has moved on. I'm assuming
he's got another woman.
Yeah. So what happens? Does she go back to the Middle East?
I'm going to guess, and I have not read this book, that the other woman is a terrible person. And Ronwyn has to reveal the terrible duplicity and rotten heart of this other woman that has sunk her teeth or her claws into her husband. And, also if he thought she was dead and she's not dead, they're still married. So whatever he was doing with her, he's either a bigamist or whatever. But my guess is that the other woman is evil and Ronwyn has to thwart her at some point.
Don't you hate it when your dead wife shows up and she's not dead at all?
I mean, and if you knew you were in a romance novel, wouldn't you think there was like a 45% chance of that happening? Like, no body, not dead. Let's be real. But none of these people know they're in a romance, which is why it makes no sense to them. The next section is inspirational, and all of these reviews are written by the same person named Roberta Blair. What did you pick?
So I picked True Devotion. It's romantic suspense by D. Henderson. It's 4 stars. I feel like a lot of these reviews, and you may have encountered this as well, where there's just a line or two that really sticks out. Like, there's one formation fiction that I grabbed where, like, I read one line and I'm like, let's unpack that for a second. And that's
it's like you're skimming them. You skimming them and then you record scratch because you're like, I'm sorry, what? Yeah, totally. 100%. That's what happens to me.
So keep in mind, this is the inspirational category. Kelly Jacobs lost her Navy SEAL husband in a training accident, but Kelly knows his death was much more than that. Confidential, top secret, and classified are stamped on everything, and there are too many unanswered questions. But when Jo Bear Baker saves her life, she feels herself falling in love again. She can't give her heart to another SEAL. It hurts too much. Jo's got a tender spot for the widow. He was her husband's commanding officer and best friend and always felt close to Kelly. Uncomfortably close. Now Nick Jacobs' killer is stalking Kelly, and he's got to protect her. D. Henderson has created another fast-paced romantic suspense. Her SEALs are gritty but tender, and her protagonist, a vulnerable but capable Christian. A great read.
What? Vulnerable but capable
Christian.
What? They're just sprinkling on the Christianity like it's accent or some saffron. Like what?
I also love just using the acronym SEAL, because her SEALs are gritty but tender, and then she can't give her heart to another SEAL. I just imagine an actual SEAL. But vulnerable but capable Christian. What does that mean?
And some gritty SEAls.
Gritty SEAls and capable Christians.
Hang on, I'm saving that. Gritty SEAls and capable Christians. It's like being in the lion's den, except it's just some gritty SEAls, and they're just like, or.
Gritty, sandy SEAls.
Oh, I love a gritty SEAL. This magazine is so funny this month. I'm so happy. Okay.
It's just weird.
I love it. I'm having such a good time. All right. Also on page 45, I picked The Promise Remains. It's a contemporary by Travis Thrasher. And it is 3 stars. Yeah. Whew. Sarah Anthony has accepted a marriage proposal from a man she doesn't love. Bruce Erickson is good, kind, and successful, and the perfect match. Or at least that's what everyone else thinks. But Sarah is still in love with the boy she met at summer camp so long ago. Only now that she is 30 years old, she feels it is time to settle down and start a family. Ethan Ware has received a fantastic career opportunity. His uncle has offered him a position in his company in Germany, but Ethan's got unresolved business. Heartache that will not be eased until he knows what happened to Sarah, the girl who stole his heart so many years earlier. Travis Thrasher's first novel is a tender romance about unrequited love and second chances. This story is fresh and full of surprises. Okay, I have some time questions here.
Yeah.
So, as you know, I worked in summer camp, and usually the summer camps that I have been around either run from first grade to high school graduation or maybe third grade to high school graduation. And some of them start in first grade. So, if they are now 30, the latest she could have met and fallen in love with this guy, unless they were staff, but it sounds like they were campers, would be like 17 or 18. How do you fall in love with somebody to the point where at 17, when like literally none of your brain is done growing, you're going to hold on to this unrequited love that you had at 17 all the way to 30? And you're going to have to, like, before you move on and become a full adult and like marry somebody or whatever, you've got to go back and find this guy. How long ago was this? If I read this, I would not believe, I don't think, that they had really fallen in love and were holding a torch for each other. Like, think of how different you are between 17 and 30.
Also, like, the description doesn't really give a hint to how they like reconnect again.
Yeah.
Like do they wind
this
up
is
at the same
2000.
company? Like, what? How do they cross paths again?
Now,
If he's
I
going
got
to
the
Germany.
internet. I got the internet in college. That would be 96, 97. Some people had it as early as like 1994. But the internet is a thing. You can find some things in 2000. Like, there's a lot of online activity that is growing at this time. Surely, I mean, it stands to reason that there would be ways to find this person before it's like, all right, before I get married, before I move to Germany, I got to find out what happened to that girl I kissed 12 years ago when I was 17. This does not hold up for me, is what I'm saying. And I am someone who met my husband at 19 or at 17 and got together with him at 19. Like, I know you can meet somebody and stay together. And I know that happens. And I know people connect with people that were, from their childhood, but to both people to hinge their whole lives on this one meeting and they haven't really dealt with it until now, that I am thinking about this way more than anyone else has thought about this book.
Then Thomas Thrasher thought about it.
Yeah, the only person who thought about this more is Mr. Thrasher. So you passed on science fiction and fantasy.
Yeah, because like the sci-fi section, for people who look at the visual aids, the sci-fi section is very much set up like the series section, where they're sort of like put into paragraphs by publisher. And none of these really jumped out at me. They were all fine. Sometimes when we go back and look at these, if I see a title I recognize, I might grab that one just to talk about what they were saying at the time for a book that I'm familiar with. But I didn't recognize any of these titles, and all of them were just sort of fine. Yeah.
I found one book where the description and what is going on in this one paragraph made me laugh so hard I was crying. Now, I have a choice here. I can read the whole review, or I could just read the paragraph that made me laugh. But if I try to read the whole review, you're going to know which one it is because I'm not going to be able to get through this without laughing.
Okay.
But since not everybody can read the magazine, I will start from the top. I have chosen Prophecy by Elizabeth Hayden. It is a tour book. It is a Romantic Times top pick, 4.5 gold. It's got the 4.5 G. So it's a horror. Oh, it's a TPG. This is very exciting. Fans eagerly anticipating the second book from Elizabeth Hayden will find their highest hopes fulfilled in Prophecy. After making an amazing journey from the doomed island of Sarandare Rhapsody and her two furball companions traverse both time and distance to make their home in an abandoned fortress in, Ylorc, Ylorc. I'm going with Ylorc. If I'm wrong, sorry. Okay. Swallowing the laughter. But while Ahmed and Grunthor busy themselves with establishing an independent Furbolg state, sorry, Rhapsody finds herself more and more fascinated by her new acquaintance, the enigmatic Ash. That sentence is just incredible. With Ahmed and Grunthor busying themselves with establishing an independent Furbolg state, Rhapsody is hanging out with Ash. This is just incredible.
Well, they're busy. She's got to find something else to do, apparently.
Right, because Grunthor and Gunther, Ahmed and Grunthor are very busy here. Okay.
Yeah.
Is he possessed by a demon? Is he possessed by a demon?
Good
or
question.
Is he just a man? Is he just a man with secrets he cannot share? These are clearly the only two options. And does she dare accept his help to stem the chaos fomented by the evil? All right, so it's capital F apostrophe door. So I'm going with F door, like F stop, or maybe door, but I'm going with F door. Dare she accept his help to stem the chaos fomented by the evil F door, whose dedication to destruction threatens the continued existence of the whole world? No, not that. The superlative Miss Hayden elevates craftsmanship to a new level of excellence as she deftly weaves mythology into high fantasy, catching our hearts with the extraordinary power and intensity of both characters and concepts. This series already has landmark written all over it. I could not get through reading about Grunthor and Ahmed and the new acquaintance. And if you have a guy who's being a little weird, your options are, is he possessed by a demon or is he just being secretive? It's either those things.
So I looked up the cover because sometimes the covers of these things will have like the characters on them.
Oh yeah. What's Grunthor and Ahmed wearing? I want to know.
They're not on the cover.
Well, balls. What do we got? Where are you putting it?
There's a lady in, like traveling garb. She's got pants and a billowy shirt and a cape. And then there's a very scary dragon. There's a very scary dragon emerging from a lake. And I don't think the dragon or the lady are Ahmed or Grunthor.
All right, I'm pulling it up. This book has its own Wikipedia page. This really was a landmark book. I need to know more about. What is this steam coming out of her groin?
It's a sword.
Is that steam?
I think it's a steam sword.
It's a steam sword, but it looks like she's farting forward.
Yeah. I mean, that's a queef, right?
That's absolutely a cover queef. I mean, if you wanted to weaponize queefing, I suppose you could do that. But also this dragon, if this is his hoard, he has a sunken ship's wheel in the hoard. Like, did this dragon just like eat a ship and vomit up a ship? Like, why is there just the wheel sticking out of the ground? And why is her sword a gaseous line? Is it a fart sword? She's got a fart sword. Don't tell anybody about it. So yeah, I got to Grunthor and Ahmed, and I was like, okay, this is great. I want to talk about this.
And here I am, like, struggling over what to name things in books that I'm writing when people are writing Grunthor over here.
Meanwhile, the heroine's name is Rhapsody. I love when romance was zany. This is such a great time. So in mainstream fiction, which if you're new here is literally everything else.
Yeah.
All of the things are in mainstream fiction. What did you pick?
This is a massive section. So I picked a multicultural contemporary romance anthology.
What does multicultural mean, Amanda?
It means there's Black people in the book.
What? Oh my goodness.
No.
There's only one other cultural. Multicultural is just, that's just one multicultural is only one. Oh boy.
And so it has 4 authors. Some of them are pretty well known. Rochelle.
I think all of them are.
Yeah, Rochelle Allers, Donna Hill, Felicia Mason, and
Oh, yeah.
Frances Ray. So St.
These are
Martin's and
all
its 4
foundational Black authors. Yeah.
Yeah. And this review is fine, but once again, there's a sentence in there that just jumps out at me. And it's pretty early on. So this is the review, and they sort of give a snippet to each of the 4 stories that are in the anthology.
And to be fair, it is so hard to review an anthology.
Yeah.
It's so hard. It's so hard because sometimes you have so much to say about one, and then the next story you're like, well, I need to say something about it, and I don't have anything. Oh, it's so hard to review an anthology. It's so hard. So
Well, yeah,
respect for that.
You know, you'll have like one clear one that's like, oh my God, this one's so good, or one that's definitely not up to snuff compared to the other books in the anthology. And now with like ebooks, you get anthologies that have, I don't know, like 7 stories in them. Like, how do you do that?
Do you remember when people would game the New York Times bestseller and the USA Today bestseller by doing a pre-order for an anthology with like 60 authors in it? And it was like 60 books for $1.99, and everyone would pre-order and it would appear on a bestseller list, making all of those authors bestsellers. Like, it was a smart way to game the system to get some banner headings on your name. But like, wow, how many of those 50 book anthologies really got read? That's a lot of friggin' books in one file.
So the review, 4 strong and independent women are about to find a unique kind of love. Donna Hill begins the anthology with It Could Happen to You, where every American's nightmare comes to life as the IRS decides to audit Della Frazier's salon. And I have to think, is that every American's nightmare, is to be audited by the IRS?
I mean, it's a nightmare. Okay, sure. Those are the stakes. I get it.
I mean, rant included of like, I think our tax system is garbage, and I think it's pretty fucked up that we ask normal human beings to file tax returns every year when we don't know what the hell we're doing. Or we have to pay out the butt for a tax person.
The thing is, the IRS already knows how much tax you owe, but you get to apply and see if you do it right. It's like taking a test where they know the answer, but they need you to prove you know the answer too. Like in other countries, which by the way, they have a lot more social services because they pay higher taxes. In other countries, the taxing authority will send you a notice. Here's how much you owe. Like, we've already figured it out. Here you go. Like, what the okay. Yes, agree. Our tax code is a hot mess.
So every American's nightmare getting audited. Hard as Nails auditor Matt Hawkins has his job cut out when he finds himself helping Della instead of closing the doors to her business. That's great. Glad you didn't shut down a small business.
Good job, sir. And like, why is a black hair salon getting audited? Like, why? That seems targeted to me. Anyway.
In A Matter of Trust by Frances Ray, Sebastian Stone wants Hope Lassiter to be the lead in the play he's about to direct. Hope isn't after just the role of Eleanor. She wants Sebastian as well. Sweet Surrender by Rochelle Allers is deeply moving, yet delightfully light and romantic. The sense of family loyalty is strong as nail technician Maria Yanez Parker and CEO Cameron King offer a captivating twist to romantic fiction. That says kind of nothing. In the final tale, Truly Honestly by Felicia Mason, Sheila Landon and Daryl Desmond must get over their social status differences in order to let love have its way. Sheila's mysterious actions will have readers rapidly turning pages. This wasn't
Is she possessed by a demon? Is she possessed by a demon? Is that what happened?
As you stated, it's very hard to review an anthology. And especially if you're doing it in print where you have limited space, this was not super helpful. But I just, Every American's Nightmare being audited definitely grabbed me because it reminded me of the whole as a millennial, thinking quicksand was going to be a bigger deal than it actually was in real life, like the dangers of quicksand.
I was just going to be encountering quicksand everywhere in my adult life. I was convinced.
But yeah, it's like, is the fear, do other people have fears of being audited? Is that a fear people have? Chime in if that's your worst nightmare.
I can speak as a business owner, and I would be very annoyed to be audited, but I also keep really close records because I'm a business and I know I can be, especially if my business name is Smart Bitches Trashy Books LLC. Somebody will be like, okay, what's that?
Take a little
Let's take a look. Yeah, so I'm pretty assiduously attentive, and I imagine most business owners are. I picked on page 82 a book with a series that I love thinking about. This is a 4.5 top pick. It is Carpathian, baby.
I saw it and I'm like, oh boy.
It is Dark Magic by Christine Feehan. I will reread the first one, Dark Lover, I think it is. I could be getting that wrong because I get the Carpathians and other vampire series mixed up. But the first one is just, these Carpathian guys are just like, you're my mate and I'm going to put you through deep emotional stress and trauma because you're my mate. And I'm not going to inform you about what that means, but it means things for you. Surprise. We got another one of these fuckaroos. This is another throw the whole goddamn man away. After centuries of searching, Gregory, the Dark One, has found his soulmate. Savannah is the child of Raven and Prince Mikhail, the leader of the Carpathian race. All Carpathian males are doomed to be corrupted vampires unless they find their life mate. This is a lot of pressure to put on the life mate, by the way. Gregory's waited as long as possible for Savannah to accept her destiny, but she is independent and stubborn, and she probably doesn't want to have life choices made for her. So her parents are the hero and heroine of the first book, and she is born, and Gregory's like, that's my life mate. It's very imprinting on the baby. Yeah. Okay. Savannah has made a career for herself as a famous magician. That's cool. One night, her friend and manager, Peter, is murdered by a vampire. Gregory arrives on the scene to vanquish the evil one, and at that moment, he decides he can no longer wait. Savannah must bond with him and become his full life mate. While Savannah, this is so gross. While Savannah has known Gregory for most of her life, she fears being overwhelmed by his powerful personality. Also, you were a child and he has always been an adult and he's like literally hundreds of years old. Circumstances suddenly make all her issues moot. That helps. And while they are technically bonded, Savannah and Gregory must still learn to live together. There is also the specter of the dangerous human society that hunts the vampires and Carpathians alike. Savannah and Gregory will need to pool their resources. All right, how much money do you have in your wallet? I've got like $5 to eliminate a powerful and dangerous threat to their race. I hope they take cash. Christine Feehan's magically enthralling series continues with the story of dark and charismatic Gregory. With each book, Ms. Feehan continues to build a complex society that makes for mesmerizing reading. These are some of the worst heroes I've ever read. Like, they put their life mates through emotional torture because, like, for example, in the first book, they're bonded and life mated or whatever. And there's like dancing and, special foot moves for the spells and chanting and all this stuff happens. And they don't tell the women in their lives, like, what's happening to them. And there's one scene in the first book where the hero, because he's a Carpathian, has to be underground during the day. And it feels as if he is dead. And he does not tell his life mated human mate that when he is underground, she will feel overwhelming grief that will lead her to suicidal ideation because her body will believe that he is dead and she is alone, even though rationally he's just sleeping. It's just for the day. He doesn't tell her this and lets her go through this torture with and there's a priest there to keep her company, and he thinks like playing checkers is going to help or something. It's insane. It's so awful. And I'm like, this guy fucking sucks. Now, when I read this, I was like, oh, wow, I'm so in. Obsessive, dark, menacing, weird vampires. I'm so in. And then I read it like 10 years later and I'm like, these guys suck. Also, the Carpathians always had a sex scene with doggy style. Like, you could not have a Carpathian book without doggy style. Count on it. It's in every one. It's very strange. But I just needed to take a little memory lane visit to the Carpathians because it's one of my favorite series to think about, just in terms of the sexual dynamics and the power differential and the fact that she was born and like he's been like, this is my mate. I got to wait for her to grow up. Bro.
No.
Gross. My goodness. All right. Now we get to mystery thriller, and I think this section was so fun. What did you pick?
So I picked Don't Drink the Water by Susan Rogers Cooper on page 95.
I'm so glad you picked this one.
This is just full of bad ideas, this one. It's labeled Amateur Sleuth Series Humorous. It's 4.5 stars and was a top pick. Though romance writer E.J. Pugh and her 3 sisters have never gotten along, in an effort toward family peace, they all agree to rent a house and vacation together on the island of St. John. Bad idea fucking number 1. If you don't get along with your family,
yes.
Why would your first step towards a mediation be on going to vacation where you can't just get up and leave and go the fuck home?
You're locking yourself in a house. And if it's St. John in the Virgin Islands, you're on an island in the Caribbean and you're locking yourself in a house with people who you don't get along with, who are your sisters, who know how to press your buttons because they installed them. Oh, no.
The worst idea. Of course, the sisters start bickering immediately. Things get even worse when they discover a body in the house cistern. When the body is identified, suspicion falls on EJ's brother-in-law, Larry, who once employed the dead woman.
Why is she in your cistern?
I think that's the mystery. EJ decides to investigate, which draws the attention of the police, and she soon becomes the main suspect. When another murder takes place, EJ knows she has to solve the crime herself or spend the rest of her days behind bars on a tropical paradise. Don't Drink the Water overflows with humor and suspense. The mystery is a baffler, but readers will also enjoy EJ's attempts to mend fences with her 3 red-headed sisters.
Oh, you know that's a plot point, that their whole personalities are having red hair. Like, you know that. Okay, I did not put together there's a dead body in the cistern and the title of the book is Don't Drink the Water. No.
I guarantee you someone drank some water and then they discover the dead body.
Somebody drank. Oh, no. No. Oh, my God.
They clearly need therapy before going on this vacation. And they're certainly going to need therapy after this vacation. Drinking dead body juice.
Oh, my. Wow.
Yeah, bad ideas.
Don't drink the water. Oh,
don't drink the water. There's a dead body in it.
I might have to, put a little warning up top about this part. Listen, we're going to talk about some disgusting plot points. Heads up. All right, so I picked on page 96 another truly excellent title. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Murder of a Small Town Honey by Denise Swanson. It's an amateur sleuth. It's from Signet. Got 4 stars. Fired from her previous job, Skye Dennison reluctantly returns to her hometown of Scumble River, Illinois, to accept a position as a school psychologist. She arrives in time for the annual Chokeberry Festival and finds the town divided over whether the festival should expand or not.
What the fuck is a chokeberry?
This is some stakes, man. The Chokeberry Festival might expand. That is,
I've never heard of this before.
Is it a real berry? I'm sure it is.
It's real.
I'm sure this author could tell you everything you need to know about the chokeberry because authors be like that. They know all the things that they put in their books. So, and I mean that as a compliment, by the way. Like, you want to ask an author about something they research, they want to tell you. Skye really isn't interested. I can't imagine why. Until she stumbles across the body of popular children's TV show host, elderly Mrs. Gumtree. A preliminary investigation reveals that Mrs. Gumtree was actually the youthful Honey Adair, a native daughter, and that she'd been murdered. So Honey Adair, of the titular Murder of a Small Town Honey, is actually Mrs. Gumtree. So she's like Mrs. Doubtfiring it, dressing as an older character.
I guess.
What's she doing in Chokeberry Festival in, Scumble River, Illinois?
I don't know.
This is so much. This is so much. Police suspicion soon falls on Sky's happy-go-lucky brother, Vince, who had been involved with the nasty Honey years earlier. The murder weapon even belongs to Vince! ! Sky hires the best attorney she can and then sets out to clear Vince's name. Murder of a Small Town Honey is the start of a bright new series, really. Swanson captures the essence of small town life in Scumble River, and Sky is a likable heroine. That's not a review, and also what is happening in this town. That is so much stuff in one small town. I loved when there were small town series and just things were truly bonkers. The only person who really, I think, carries this off perfectly is Bev Jenkins with her Blessing series. This is a lot. And there's no review, as usual. So moving on to series romance, we did not have any ones in this.
No, it was hard to choose, though.
Yes, and there were a lot of, you'll never guess, 3s, 4s, and 4.5 stars that all kind of read the same. So sometimes picking books to talk about could be a bit of a challenge. What did you pick in series romance?
So there are a lot of babies. There's a lot of babies and a lot of cowboys in this section.
We really haven't reckoned with the pregnancy fetish of Harlequin, have we?
No. And there was one, I didn't pick this one, but there's a title called Whose Baby Is This?
I love those.
And I almost picked that one, but I picked the one right after it on 106 called The Pint-Sized Secret.
Oh, is that about you?
No, I'm not a secret. Trust me. You'll hear me.
That's true.
Specifically for this one phrase, and you'll know it when I say it. What starts out as a simple inquiry into the leaking of company information becomes complicated when the virile oil man spearheading the investigation falls in love with the Sorry.
For those of you not watching the video, I now have my glasses off. I'm crying. I'm wiping my eyes with a clean sock. Like, it's going to hell over here. Oh my God.
The virile oil man. Okay. Spearheading the investigation, falls in love with the prime suspect, a spirited geologist who just happens to have a secret of her own. While the heroine's reason for keeping her secret lacks substance, the pint-sized secret, 3 stars, has all the passion, laughter, tears, and familiar characters readers anticipate in a Cheryl Woods love story. But yeah, I read the phrase virile oil man, and I'm like, pack it up, everyone. Go home.
We have a winner. So now we have gritty seals, capable Christians, and virile oil men.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh my God. That really just, that laugh was delightful. I hope if you were driving, you're okay. Because, I mean, we were not okay. We're just sitting. Oh
Shout
my
out
God.
to the virile oil men.
All those virile oil men out in the world. I mean, and are they possessed by demons? We do not know. Okay. Speaking of Whose Baby Is This, one of my favorite books I ever reviewed was called Who's the Daddy by Judy Christenberry, and it's about a pregnant woman who has amnesia, can't remember who knocked her up. And there's 2 guys, and they're like, it was me. No, it was me. Oh, that was a good one. All right, so I picked on page 105, Who's Been Sleeping in Her Bed by Pamela Dalton. Talented new author Pamela Dalton comes up with an interesting variant on the amnesia theme in Who's Been Sleeping in Her Bed. A beautiful detective married to a handsome dairy farmer wakes up after a bad fall with no memory of either husband or career. Excellently researched, Miss Dalton uses intriguing characterization to add welcome freshness to a familiar plot. So she has amnesia and she can't remember who her husband is, who's been sleeping in her bed. Wow. I love a good
Or what
amnesia.
she does for a living. My concern, and I'm just hypothesizing here. My concern is like, is this one of those stories where she doesn't remember that she is a beautiful detective and somehow the husband convinces her not to return to work or her job?
Oh, that's very sinister. That's a very sinister plot. He's a handsome dairy farmer, though. He wakes up really early and is out of the house all day. I love how there were always amnesia and lots of pregnant women falling in love in Harlequin Land. It's truly great. Nothing is going to top Virile Oil
Oh my
Man,
gosh.
though.
The cover? Have you looked at the cover?
For what? Pint-sized secret?
Who's been sleeping in her bed?
Oh, no. Okay, hang on.
Okay, and then they call him a dairy farmer, but the book description references him as a cattle breeder.
Well, those aren't the same thing. What is this? What? Okay, so there's a new cover that's like pink and weird and they're just staring at each other and she's looking at his pecs.
No.
But the original on eBay, oh my, look at this. He's got a 9-pack of abs and his nipples and his eyes are staring at her. He's lounging in bed like, hey, baby. And she's standing with her arms like her arms on her hips, like she's pissed off. Like, who the fuck are you? Get out of my bed.
Who the hell are you?
What the hell are you doing in my bed? Oh, this is amazing. I love it.
According to the book description, she can't remember anything, but apparently, like, the last conversation that they had before she lost her memory is about her wanting a divorce.
Oh, he's very invested in her not remembering things, isn't he? Oh my stars. This cover is amazing. He's like, what are you mad about? I'm hot. My nipples are out and I'm in your bed. What could possibly go wrong? And she remembers enough to be like, you suck. Get out of my bed. Wow. Oh, this cover is incredible. I love it. There's so many muscles.
Goodreads has a good image. If you go to the...
Amanda, there's so many muscles.
Yeah.
There's so many.
It's like a pack of King's Hawaiian rolls.
It really is. He's eating Hawaiian rolls in bed with those nipples. Look at that. Hold on. Is that John?
John, is that you?
Is that you, John? The husband she couldn't remember. And he's like, look, I'm hot. My nipples are out. Just everything's fine. Oh, wow. Pack of Hawaiian rolls. Now, you skipped Regency. I did pick a Regency. I picked Lady Jane's Nemesis by Patricia Oliver. This is from Signet. This is a 4.5 star. If you are new or not familiar, Regency was a type of book. It was not just books that were set in the Regency. They were about the same size as Harlequins, or if you remember Sweet Valley High or Sweet Dreams, they were little paperbacks. And they were the size and shape and page count of like series, but they were only Regencies. Some amazing historical authors got their starts writing Regencies. So this is Regency, both the format and the genre. Signet, a quality month for Signet. Hell yeah. Begins with another groundbreaking novel from Patricia Oliver. Lady Jane's Nemesis, 4.5, is the local wanton wife who has captured the attention of a Marquess's heir who just happens to be her betrothed. I don't understand this. I've read this sentence many times while picking this book, and I'm still not sure what's going on. Of course, the agreement to marry has been orchestrated by their parents when they were children, but it is nonetheless real to Lady Jane, the local wanton wife. Oh, I understand. Lady Jane's nemesis is the local wanton wife who the Marquess wants to go to Bone Town with, and Lady Jane is mad because they are engaged. Okay. But when she catches her philandering fiancé in flagrante delicto with the luscious beauty, Lady Jane is determined to take control of her own life, but not in a way readers will expect. Always creative, ever inventive, Ms. Oliver dares to go where no one else would even think of going in this fascinating, complex story in which love truly conquers all. What do you think she does? I don't know. But I also want to say, can you see the page of Regency romances and the cover for this book?
A hat. We got a hat.
Hat! There's a hat. There's a fine hat. There's a hat watch. We got
Hat
a real,
watch.
it's been a while since we really have not seen a good hat in a while. It only has 2.67 stars on Goodreads though.
Do with that what you will.
1 star. This entire review has been hidden because of spoilers. All right. This review is from Ivy. It was written February 2020. So, sometimes it's better to carefully sort through the cheap paperbacks when you're at a secondhand bookstall instead of just picking up everything and dumping them into the bag. One of the tags is, okay, childhood acquaintances turned love, crazy over the top messed up, even D-Dog hated it, everybody is annoying, former Superman horror hero, friends to lovers, fuck this shit, fucked up relatives, cunty bitch ow, and hero and heroine are neighbors. Oh my goodness. I read this years ago and only remember my reaction being, seriously?
Oh boy.
Okay, this sounds like a delightful train wreck. Well written and dreary, but probably realistic Regency romance with a hero of weak intelligence and morals.
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh, my stars. I'm going to link to this. Okay, so maybe I need to read this train wreck. This sounds kind of promising. I love a good train wreck. It's been a while. Let me know if you think I should read this train wreck. It won't take me more than a couple hours. So we have a section in this one, a new section. It's not new like to the magazine, but it's new to our program because we don't do this. We have electronic book reviews.
Yeah, is this the first time we've seen this section?
Yes, I think it might be the first time, or we've seen it in later issues, but this I think is maybe the earliest we've seen it. And this is 2000. So the magazine is still early adopter, teaching the readers of the magazine how to use ebooks, which I still am astonished by. But the publishers, if you're curious, Star Publications, newconceptspublishing.com, hardshell.com, and books-on-disc.com. So that's what we're dealing here, like books on disc. What did you pick in the electronic book reviews section?
So I picked a serial ebook on page 111. The Lipstick Chronicles 1, Men at Work by Catherine Schaefer. It just like detail after detail is dropped and I just have more questions. The Lipstick Chronicles are smart and sexy, just like the women and men who inhabit their pages, which is interesting because it's digital, so there's not a physical page. Alyssa Wentworth has no time for a man in her life. She's tough, smart, hard-headed, and scares most of them away, and has no intention of changing. So
I think we should have a drink with her.
So when she meets Joe Montaigne, the only man she's ever found irresistible, she thinks it's a bad thing, even when she finds out he shares her attraction. Joe wants his company to invest in Alyssa's online greeting card business.
Now that's a business with a big future. Oh, boy.
He's convinced it will be highly beneficial to both of them, but doesn't count on the aloof Alyssa being the most attractive woman he's ever known. He knows it's not bright to mix business with pleasure, but he's willing to take the risk. The story clicks along at a fast pace. What detracts from this particular installment is that Alyssa's coldness and witchiness is emphasized so much that we almost don't like her at all. Thank goodness she softens up. What do you mean by witchiness? Does she do new age online greeting cards?
I think that means that she has long, straight, dark hair and that she wears like dark clothing and red lipstick and looks like, a popular portrayal of a witch. That's my guess. But also, I really want to have a drink with her now.
Yeah, I'm confused about like the witchiness descriptor. Does she only sell Halloween greeting cards? Like what?
Witchiness. There's no context for that, so it's very out of left field.
Yeah, that's why I was like, where did it come from?
Look at the cost.
It's download in 6 $2 installments. Because it is a series, right? Yeah. So I wonder if Lipstick Chronicles 1, Men at Work is this story. And then there are more stories? Or do you think this story is serialized over 6 chapters?
I would interpret that parenthetical as meaning this story is 6 installments at $2 each, which is interesting because this is 26 years ago. We have a series. We have a serialized story. We have, paying per download. And now people are like, oh my gosh, look at that. And it has been here. We almost don't like her at all. Actually, she sounds kind of dope. I would like to know more about this witchiness. I don't know. It sounds very cool. I picked Careless Whisper by Elaine Hopper. Careless Whispers. This is unhinged, and I am so excited to share this with you. Are you ready?
Yes.
Contemporary romance, Careless Whispers, Elaine Hopper, 4 stars from New Concepts Publishing. What happens when your 9-year-old daughter falls off her horse in a competition, hits her head, and can't remember the previous 2 years of her life? For Debbie and Quinn, it means they have to be pretended is 2 years earlier before they were divorced. This means living together again. In what world is this a therapeutic answer? Why? Holmes decided this was a good idea.
Oh, no.
The problem is, here's the problem. The problem is not that this is insane as a setup and truly detrimental to the stability of your family and possibly your daughter's recovery. No, this is the problem. The problem is Quinn still doesn't have a job and is fixed on starting his own company, on his own computer company. So Debbie thinks, okay, I'm going to read that sentence again because I got it all wrong. The problem is Quinn still doesn't have a job and is fixated on starting his own computer company. So Debbie thinks. Meanwhile, Debbie is going to school, holding down several jobs, and is trying to keep their ancient farmhouse from falling down around their ears. She's still resentful that Quinn only cares about his company and doesn't seem to care about his family. This book pulled me into the story from the very beginning. The characters ranged from quirky to quarrelsome. My only problem with the book was that there were too many image descriptions. He doesn't have a job. He's starting a computer company. Maybe he's hiding something. Like, what is he hiding where if the inverse of he doesn't care about his family is no, secretly he always has, what is it? And you have to pretend to still be married. In what world does this happen? I love how cruelly unhinged. This is so unhinged.
I feel like the divorce was warranted.
Are you kidding? Absolutely.
Team Debbie.
Team Debbie all the way. And I hope their daughter gets her memories back.
What if the daughter's faking it so her parents get back together?
Oh my God, I bet she is. I hit my head. I can't remember what. You guys have to live together. You're still married, right? Oh my God. And she's, how old was she? 9. So they divorced when she was 7. Whew, damn. So that is the reviews. What do you think?
I mean, virile oilmen.
Virile oilmen and gritty seals.
I give it 4 virile oilmen. That's my rating for this book.
I'm giving this issue and the books inside it 4.5 top pick gritty seals. Now I'm picturing Gritty, the Philadelphia Flyers mascot, dressed out or just holding a seal. Like, I mean, maybe I'll need to email them and be like, could you take this picture for me, please? Thank you.
Also, not the first time the descriptor virile was used in this book. I remember skimming it and I saw it somewhere else as well. So,
oh yeah, virile is a popular word. Also, weaves a tapestry is one of their favorite ways of describing writing a book, which I find so cliche and annoying, and I don't love it. And I used to use it, but I used to use it because I didn't know how to articulate myself better, and I was relying too much on cliches. It's like cliches, so much cliche, and so much not really reviewing. I always want to say, by the way, my eyes just fixated on this, on Michael, A Gift of Trust by Margaret Lawrence, a romantic suspense in the electronic book reviews. It says, this book also has edgy foreshadowing that keeps you smiling and screaming at the heroine. True to the classic, don't open the door, don't go down the stairs plot. This book is a teasing pleaser. A teasing pleaser.
Awful.
That sounds terrible. All right. Those were the reviews. Are you interested in reading any of these? I might have to read Lady Jane's Nemesis to find out how bad it is because people were like, this book sucks.
Not interested in any of the ones that we talked about.
All right. Well, that's fine.
There is one that comes up in the ads and features that I perked up at. So you'll have to listen to that one.
Come back in 2 weeks and find out which one Amanda wants to read. And that brings us to the end of this week's episode. Thank you so much to Amanda. Yes, there is a video of this episode. You get to watch all of my facial expressions as Amanda describes the books that she picks. And you get to see her expression when I talk about things. It's a very funny experience to see as well as listen. So if you'd like to listen again and watch us make faces, please head over to our YouTube channel at Smart Podcast Trashy Books. And if you're there, please subscribe. And very soon, Amanda and I are going to do ridiculous things on YouTube, possibly live, depending on whether our schedules align. But remember, you have to appease the YouTube werewolves. Like and subscribe. I end every episode with a bad joke, and this week is no exception. This joke comes from J.F. Hobbit, and when I saw it, I snorted loud enough that everyone who is in the car with me demanded to hear what I was laughing about. So thank you, J.F. Hobbit, for this incredible joke. Are you ready? What is an army of lesbians called? Give up? What is an army of lesbians called? Militia Etheridge. Militia Etheridge. Oh, no. It's so bad. I love it so much. Well, since you've listened to over an hour of me laughing, I think it's time for me to bring this episode to a close. On behalf of everyone here, we wish you the very best of reading. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you back here next week. And in the words of my favorite retired podcast, Friendshipping, which if you haven't tried is a wonderful show, thank you for listening. You're welcome for talking.